Breaking news.
There's news of popping at the NFL scouting combine. A new contract.
Yep.
And then someone's returning.
The team is anticipating that Travis Kelce will be back next year.
He will make such an announcement on the New Heights pod.
Okay, best believe when I say you're not ready for this one. I'm talking Travis-inspired Taylor songs, big bucks, and even a possible Blake Lively diss. The temperature is rising out here and rising fast. First things first, Travis has a massive decision looming over his head, and it's not just about another Super Bowl ring. The Chiefs tight end is facing a crucial career crossroads with a £10 million roster bonus set to hit on March 15th. But before the cash rolls in, the Chiefs want answers by March 14th to be exact. They need to know if Kelce is sticking around or hanging up his cleats, giving them enough time to plot their next move before the NFL draft.
Take all the time you want, Travis. Yeah. And he's due $12 million on March 14th. Pay it. Travis has been the consummate. Every single person has made at least $30 million more than him on that list. Call it back pay if you pay him that and then he decides not to come back. I obviously don't think he is the dominant best tight end in the league anymore because he shouldn't be.
So they played a month longer than the teams that didn't make the playoffs.
Financially, this decision is a big deal. If Kelce stays, he secures the hefty bonus on top of his £3.5 million base salary for 2025. Or if the Chiefs decide to move on, it frees up £13.4 million in salary cap space. So the stakes are high on both sides. But according to the sources, the Chiefs are feeling optimistic. NFL reporter Dianna Russini spilled on the Rich Eisen Show that there's a strong sense Kelce will keep playing, despite his vague statements following the Chiefs' Super Bowl loss to the Eagles.
How Travis is managing everything from the play, the aging, the Taylor Swift effect. There's definitely a sense that Travis is going to try to play more. I think they feel pretty good that Travis has got a little bit more left in him.
Do you want to get on with Travis Kelce 2.0, which is probably the entertainment version? If Travis wants to get to that part of his life now, that's the question.
His life has changed completely, as we all have seen over the last 2 years now. In regard to, does he actually have anything left? He wasn't spectacular this year. There's more there, and Travis is committed to doing that. It'll be there. It's not going anywhere.
On the New Heights podcast, Kelce admitted he's taking time to think things through, but emphasized that if he returns, it won't be half-hearted. His performance last season raised some eyebrows, though. Kelce's 823 receiving yards were his lowest since 2014, and he only managed 3 touchdowns in the regular season. Even in the Super Bowl, he had a quiet game, with just 4 catches for 39 yards. At 35, it's fair to wonder how much longer he can dominate. But one thing's for sure, whatever Kelce decides, Taylor is in his corner. The pop icon has been by his side for the past 18 months, and their relationship is only getting stronger. Engagement rumors are swirling, and if Kelce does choose to retire, it won't cause any problems between them. In fact, some fans think stepping away from football could give them more time to focus on their future together. And speaking of the future, Swift has her own big year ahead with a 2026 tour in the talks. Could wedding bells be ringing after her international dates wrap up? Fans are watching closely, and knowing these two, there's bound to be a surprise or two along the way. While Travis contemplates his NFL future, he's also taking a step back from the spotlight, at least for now. Following the Chiefs' crushing 40-22 Super Bowl loss to the Eagles, Kelce got real about his performance on New Heights, admitting he wasn't at his best and needs time to decide what's next. But just as fans were gearing up for more candid Kelce moments, the podcast announced it was taking a brief hiatus, leaving the 92%, aka diehard listeners, hanging. That break, however, won't last long. On February 24th, New Heights sent fans into a frenzy by confirming the podcast's return on Wednesday, with not just one, but multiple guests. The cryptic announcement had everyone guessing who might be joining the Kelce brothers. Some fans are hoping for Taylor to finally make an appearance, especially since she and Travis have been keeping a low profile since the Super Bowl. Others think Kylie could pop in, considering she's already had Jason on her own podcast. Then there's the wild card theory. Could the special guests be Eagles players from their Super Bowl winning squad? That would certainly be an interesting twist, especially after Philly just dominated Travis's Chiefs on the biggest stage. Some are even throwing out the idea of the Saunders brothers, including Kalen Saunders, a former Chief-turned-Saints player, and his brother Cameron, who just so happened to dance on Swift's Eras Tour. Whatever happens, one thing's for sure, the next New Heights episode is going to be one to watch. As Travis and New Heights prepare for their big return, Taylor seems to be navigating some drama of her own, this time involving her longtime friend Blake Lively. While Swift has been keeping a low profile since the Super Bowl, it appears she's also quietly distancing herself from Lively amid the "It Ends With Us" controversy. Lively, who got caught up in a messy legal battle with director Justin Baldoni, allegedly referenced Swift as one of her dragons in text messages revealed in court filings.
I'm really scared because everyone that I meet, it's not really like a fan, it's a lifestyle. I'm really excited to. And everyone I know is like, oh, I'll watch every episode with you again. It's a life choice. So I haven't made that life choice yet.
Yeah, sure, Blake in the Game of Thrones world, right?
It's a dragon.
Yeah, you kind of have Mother of Dragon here going.
Now, relationship experts are weighing in, suggesting that Swift might feel like she was dragged into something she wanted no part of. Luella Alderson speculates that Swift could see Lively's actions as a breach of trust, especially if she feels like her name was used for personal leverage. And while their friendship isn't necessarily over, it's clear things are tense between them. For now, Swift seems to be keeping her distance, and honestly, who could blame her? She's got enough going on between her relationship with Kelce and the ongoing tour commitments. If anything, she's probably waiting for things to die down before deciding whether to rebuild that friendship. Lively, on the other hand, might need to do some serious damage control. Experts suggest she should start with a sincere apology, followed by some space to let Swift process everything. At the end of the day, these two have been close for years, so a reconciliation isn't off the table. But for now, it looks like Swift is taking a step back, proving once again that when it comes to drama, she'd rather be the one writing about it than living it. With Kelce's retirement decision looming, Swift's next move could depend on how things play out. If he decides to hang up his cleats, she may have more time to fully immerse herself in her next album and tour without worrying about squeezing in NFL games. However, if he stays with the Chiefs, balancing their demanding careers could remain a challenge. Rumor suggests that Swift's upcoming album will dive deep into relationships, with tracks inspired by Kelce's struggles and even her complicated dynamic with Blake Lively. If true, this could be one of her most personal records yet, reflecting the emotional roller coaster of her life over the past year. Reports claim Swift was already writing new songs backstage during her Eras tour, meaning she's been crafting this project for a while. Meanwhile, Kelce is reportedly feeling the weight of his future. After his worst statistical season yet, a potential reduced role with the Chiefs, and the emotional toll of Super Bowl 59, stepping away from football might be an option he's seriously considering. The team's soft deadline of March 14th adds urgency to his decision, and his choice could significantly impact what's next for both him and Swift. If Kelce retires, he'd have more flexibility to support Swift's 2026 tour and explore new opportunities outside the NFL. But if he stays, their schedules could remain as hectic as ever. Either way, the power couple seems to be entering a new chapter, one filled with big decisions, career shifts, and of course a whole lot of music. And while we've established Swift cannot be ignored, Megyn Kelly didn't hold back on her thoughts about Swift's reception at the Super Bowl either, doubling down on her claim that the pop star was one of the night's biggest losers. She insisted that while the Chiefs' loss was a blow, Swift's apparent unpopularity with the Eagles' heavy crowd was even more humiliating. "People don't love her as much as she thinks they do," Kelly wrote, referencing the infamous booing when Swift appeared on the Jumbotron. She contrasted that with Trump's entrance, which she claimed was met with a more enthusiastic response. However, footage from the game showed that while Trump did receive cheers, there were also plenty of boos mixed in, something Kelly conveniently ignored.
We're on our way out early and we just spotted Travis. And I've met him before, but I didn't have time to say anything except, "We love you, Travis!" And we do. Taylor. It's like seeing the Beatles. Getting to see Taylor Swift. It will be talked about like, "You saw Taylor Swift live? Best artist ever, maybe ever alive." Think about Travis, because she did So High School, but she couched it between 87 in it, which is Travis's number.
The conservative commentator also used her platform to mock Swift's political influence, suggesting that the singer's endorsement of Kamala Harris clearly hasn't won over middle America. She even joked that Swift should have spent more time campaigning for the Chiefs instead of Harris, given their disastrous performance in the Super Bowl. While Kelly reveled in Swift's tough night, Swift herself has remained silent on the subject. Sources close to the singer say she was unfazed by the stadium reaction and focused more on supporting Travis after the loss. Despite the boos, Swift was seen smiling and chatting with friends in her suite, proving she wasn't letting the negativity ruin her night. As for Kelly, her social media posts continued well after the game, with her followers joining in on the Swift criticism. Some called for Swift to stay out of politics, while others mocked her reaction to the Chiefs' loss. But Swifties weren't having it. Defenders of the singer flooded Kelly's posts, calling her obsessed and accusing her of using Swift's name for attention. Whether Swift will respond remains to be seen, but one thing is clear. The Super Bowl wasn't just a battleground for the Chiefs and Eagles, it became yet another front in the never-ending culture war, with Kelly eagerly stoking the flames. See you on the next one.